Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, if you can't already tell by the title, is going to be how I contour and highlight my face. Obviously everyone has different techniques, there is no right or wrong way how to do this. This is just how I do it and what works for me. I've been doing this technique on my face for quite a while now. I just think it looks really natural, it doesn't look too intense, you've not got like the super harsh contour lines, but also it does just bring a bit more shape into your face. So if you would like to see how I get this kind of look, then please just keep watching. Right, so like I just said, I'm going to show you how I contour and highlight my face. I accidentally put on my concealer because I forgot, but it was just the Revolution Supersize Concealer in C2 and I blended it in with a sponge. I might go back in and just pat it out afterwards. I've done some of my cream contouring. To start out contouring my face, obviously I've got my foundation on already. I'm using the Revolution Conceal and Define and this is in the shade F12. So this is obviously quite a bit of a darker shade for me. But what I'm going to do is pop a little bit just on my cheeks, take my sponge and blend it in, and I'm going to do this as a bit as a bronzing effect, so it might look a little bit crazy at first, but then we will blend it out so it's fine. So I sometimes put this on if I want a little bit more of a bronzed look. You can skip this step and just do all the powder contouring techniques that I am going to be showing you. Also with this, you don't want to leave it too long to dry because I have found it does dry very fast when I'm doing it this way. So if you like put it on all over your face and you come back to the first bit you did, it is very hard to blend out. So I prefer to put a bit on, blend it in, put a bit on, blend it in. But that's just my preference. Obviously you can do whatever you want, but now I'm just going over with the side that I used the foundation on and just softening all the edges because you want it all to blend in together. Then taking a little bit on the top of my forehead. Obviously this is just how I do it on my face. You can do it however you want on your face. This is just the techniques that I like. Everyone's face shape is different, so depending on what your face shape's like, depends on how much you either want to contour or you don't. So that's kind of like the liquid bronzer part. Now I'm going to go in with my highlighter. I think you've seen this in a couple of my other videos. This is the CLC Essence Cushion Moonlight Highlighter. It just comes with a little puff. I really like this highlighter. It's got a bit of a shimmer in. So all you do is you've got this here and then you just push that into there to get the product out. And then I'm just popping this on the tops of my cheekbones. So it just gives a really nice effect. I'm not highlighting the inner parts of my face because I'm going to be going in with this, but if you didn't want to use a kind of shimmer highlight, you could just go in with your concealer and put a line down your nose, a bit on your forehead and a bit on your chin, but for today I'm going to be using this. Pop a little bit just on my brow bone. As you can see, that's just giving it a beautiful highlight and glow to begin with. Now I'm going to go in with setting my under eyes now, and I've been loving this Revolution Pro HD Powder Contour Kit at the moment, and I've been liking this shade to set under my eyes. It's just a very light colour, it's perfect for brightening. But you do just want to look up as well so that you don't set any of the creases in place. Right, and then you can just set your nose with this. And so that's where I've just put that lighter powder. And then for everything else, I'm just going in with just a normal powder. It won't really dull the effects of the bronzer. It will tone it down just a tiny little bit though, but it's not anything too crazy that you can't see it anymore. For this, I'm just going to go in with the MUA Pro Base powder. And it's in the shade 110. And I'm just lightly pushing this into the skin. So there we go, as you can see we've still got the effects of the highlight but it's not as intense anymore, and the bronzer's there but it's nothing too intense. So if you didn't want to do any of these steps then you would just be starting out with a plain base at the moment. And I'm just going to warm up my skin just a tiny wee bit more and then contour a tiny little bit. I just feel as though when I do this the bronzer and the highlight lasts a lot more, but on a day-to-day basis I might just do the powder, which you've seen in most of my other videos anyway, but I'm just showing you what I would do fully when I'm wanting to make my highlight and contour last for a very long time. So I'm going to go back in with this palette, and to bronze my skin I'm going to use this shade here and this one right here, sorry, that one. And I'm just going to take it on a brush like this. You can use any kind of brush that you want for your bronzer. I'm just tapping off the excess and then warming up my skin, so I'm just going to be doing circular motions. And then for contour, I'm going to be using the Kevyn Aucoin the sculpting powder in the shade medium. It just looks like this. And I'm taking this on this is just like a flat brush, like a contour brush. It's a bit of a copy of I think it's the NARS Eater brush or ITA brush. I actually got this on Amazon a couple of years ago, and to be honest, this has been perfectly fine. I've washed it God knows how many times. It's not shed or anything. I just really like this brush and I think it's perfect for contouring. It makes it really easy. So I'm just rubbing my brush into that, tapping any excess off. And then to contour, if you've never like properly contoured before and you just kind of warm up your skin, what you want to do is, if you've got a brush like this, contouring goes from like the top of the ear and down, but you don't want to bring the powder too far in, because other than that this area here starts to get quite muddy very fast. So I'm just going to start by putting my brush up there and wiggling it down. Probably just bringing it to about the edge of the eyebrow. And then you want to be blending up. You don't want to blend down, because then that kind of creates like a darkness here, whereas you're contouring to kind of bring your face in a little bit. And then whatever's left you can just kind of feather down. So do the same on this side, top of the ear. I do have a bit of a mole on my face here. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed it before, but the problem is with that is it's just below my contour line. So I often if I want it to be quite a sharpish contour, I do have to go back in and clean it up, because my contour line's here, but then because that's there, it kind of grabs some of the product a little bit and it can kind of look a bit muddy going downwards. So I do have to be really careful of that. Tiny bit on the forehead, then I'll just pop a little bit under my chin, and it kind of gives you a bit more of like a poutier lip, and then a bit on this either side of my nose. And I'm not going to be going in and baking today, but I am just going to clean up this line a little bit. Right, and then if you really wanted it to super blend together, if you think anywhere's looking a little bit harsh, you can go back in with the powder brush you've just used and kind of soften the edges out that way. Or some people do like to go back in with the sponge, but I prefer not to, because obviously you've got the powders set down and this brush blends it in really well. If you do feel as though it's still a bit harsh, you can go in with like a duo fibre brush. And this just blends it all together. Right, and then the next thing that I'm going to be doing today is blush. And for blush today I'm going in with the Makeup Geek. This is the Flawlessly Ever After palette. And I'm going to go in with these two shades here and just mix them together. Then for my blusher brush I'm just using a duo fibre brush, mixing the two together, tapping off the excess. And then what I'm going to do is pop it just on my cheeks. You don't want to like bring it too high up here, because then your blush seems to all merge together. You don't have like the different tones going on. So the best way to find out where you should actually place your blush is to smile. So if you smile, and you can just blend it a little bit back into it, but you don't want to like apply the whole thing on there. There we go. And with because you've applied the blush with like a duo fibre brush, it kind of blends it in anyway, and looks really nice and seamless. Then for highlight today, I'm going to be testing out a new highlight. You can use any highlight you want. I got this in my Birchbox and it's the Estate Dew Me Up Lit highlight, and it just looks like this. Either any highlight that you've got will be fine. I just want to try this out today. So to do this, I take just a fan brush and pop it in the top of that, and then I'm just popping this on the highest points of my cheeks. So basically just over that colour that we put on earlier. That's really nice actually. I really like that highlight. For the first time trying it, I really think it looks really pretty. So then I'm going to pop some on my brow bone, and what this does is kind of create a bit of like a C effect, and I really like it. If you ever like look and you can see it, it looks really nice. Pop a little bit just on the top of the brow as well. Then a bit on the lip, a bit on the tip of the nose, and then a bit on the bridge. I don't completely swipe down on my nose because I do have oily skin. I like to pinpoint where I want to put it, just so then it looks like a highlight and it doesn't look as though it's just like an oily nose. Then if this wasn't like intense enough for you for the highlight wise, a recent technique which I've been liking is taking like a setting spray. So today I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter, putting that on my face, letting it dry a little bit but not completely, so while the face is still a little bit wet, apply more highlighter, and what it does, it makes it really intense. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So just dry it off a little bit, and then take the same technique that you've been doing, take it, and then I'm just popping it in particular areas. Do you see what I mean? How much more intense that is. So look at the difference. It's just so much more intense. I'm not going to do that on the nose, I'm just going to do it on tops. So this is what the skin is looking like. What I'm going to do is quickly finish off my eyebrows and my eyes, and I will just be back in 1 second. Right everyone, so this is the finished look. As you can see, they all just kind of melt nicely in together. I don't think the camera does it justice, and also my lighting's not great because it's a bit miserable outside. So what I'll do is I'll take a couple of pictures in natural daylight, and then you can see what the actual skin looks like, and I'll insert them now. So yeah, that's just what it looks like. Obviously you can see the skin looks really beautiful. The highlight blends so much better than what it is looking like on camera. I really like this lip colour as well. I think it goes really well with it. For the eyes, I just did something quite simple and natural, just because the main focus today is the skin. So that is just what I wanted to do. I really like how it came out. This technique works really well for me, and it doesn't take me that long to do, to be honest. You can obviously take steps out, add steps if you want, but for me, I really like just the way that I do this. So yeah, obviously everyone's face shape is different. What works for my face might not work for yours. Maybe you could use a couple of the techniques to make it work for your face. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button down below. It helps me out so much, and thank you so much to all the recent people that have just subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. My channel is slowly growing, which I so much appreciate, so thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. I really do appreciate it, and yeah, I will just catch you in my next one. Alright, bye guys.